Hi guys, it's Mario. So today we're going to be talking about the sixth Hermetic principle. Now let's do a little recap again. So we got to remember the first principle was the all is mental, right? More than likely we were created in the brain of something, right? Um, Other than that, it also states how there's nothing outside of that consciousness, right? We are inside of that consciousness. The second principle is correspondence. What's as above, so below. So anything that's happening in the universes and anything that's happening with atoms, we have found mathematically that they're the same. You know, most things follow the proportion of the golden ratio. That just seems the nature of our universe. So we could calculate this cool mathematics and it's the same proportion, even gravity, whether it's a small tiny atom or these really big massive planets out there. The third principle is vibration. So, the idea that things are solid, it's not so. Atoms are 99.9% empty space. So anything that you feel is solid is actually just your atoms vibrating so fast that it becomes solid. Um, we've proven this with Newtonian physics as well. The fourth principle is going to be polarity. So polarity is like the magnet, right? You have positive, you have negative. So if you break off the positive, what happens to this part of the magnet is it actually becomes positive and negative. So the idea of a dualistic world, meaning, good and evil. That idea that good and evil are two separate things is one idea, but they're also the same, right? I guess the better example is hot and cold. Hot and cold are, you could say, are different, right? If I'm cold, I'm not hot. If I'm hot, I'm not cold. But that's kind of, I don't want to say wrong because it's right. It's what Zen would call small mind. But to have big mind is to understand that it's all temperature, right? Because it's hot doesn't mean cold doesn't exist, and because it's cold doesn't mean hot exists. It's just this sliding scale in between, Which brings us to the fifth principle, rhythm, right? So if you've ever done a pendulum, you ever done the math and trigonometry, hot, cold, summer, winter. That sine wave that gets created with a pendulum essentially really is everything. It's the path of our sun, it's the path of the moon. Everything's doing a sine wave out there, but that whole rhythm you got to be careful with, because you can stay positive, right? You can stay, things go wrong, but sometimes when things go wrong, those are the best things that happen to us, you guys. If things don't go wrong, we stay where we're at, right? We pretend that we're comfortable, and nothing grows when it's comfortable, you guys. It can't remember where I saw that quote, but the right before the seed pops out of the shell, is the most painful experience. Makes sense. There's all that pressure being built up right before it just pops, right? But once it pops, it's able to spring out of the dirt and find the sun and find air and water and, just enjoy the earth that it's in. But anyways, so, these are the first five we've gone over. The sixth one is going to be cause and effect. So the sixth principle states, every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for a law not recognized. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law. So, this is where it gets interesting, because we either are really destiny believers, right? And we're just like, well, God wanted me to suffer, and God wanted me to have this bad life, and God wanted me to go through all these things, right? Which, it's how I thought life was for me too for a long time, but now I'm realizing that those were other people's causes. And the effect that I was getting didn't make me very happy, you know. But when I'm living life on somebody else's terms or rules, I mean, how am I going to be happy, right? I have a Monopoly game board and a game set, and they're wanting me to play with Candyland rules or something, right? It's super confusing to me. I can never win the game. I'm constantly frustrated because I don't even have the right dice. You know, it's ridiculous, you know. And what do I mean by other people's causes? So, you know, from 0 to 7, you're running on what's called theta waves. You know, pure theta waves. You only feel theta waves after age 7 when you are groggy. So 2 times a day, unless you take a nap, that'll be 4 times a day. You feel it right before you go to sleep, that groggy feeling, that's your brain turning into theta waves. It's relaxing from alpha to beta to theta. And then when you wake up, you also go into theta. So when you're kind of waking up and you're, you know, still maybe need your cup of coffee or whatnot, you're in theta. But anyways, what I'm getting at, from 0 to 7, you know, I grew up in not the best household. You know, I grew up around alcoholics. I was told I was stupid. I was the reason why they did all their stupidity. You know, I was told a lot of stuff that I absorbed. It was other people's cause. The effect it had on me was calling myself stupid throughout my life. You know, the effect it had on me was low self-esteem, you know. And then, you know, I mean, I wasn't big on Catholicism or Christianity, but, you know, some of my family was, you know, my mom not too much, but, you know, anytime I went to church, they told me I was meant to suffer. I was a sinner. I was evil. So, you know, I absorbed all that too, and it was just like, oh, I don't have all these things. I don't have all this because I'm this quote-unquote evil person, you know? So this really starts to get interesting, guys, because what you want to do is you want to control that cause. You have to control your own cause. But see, this is where what people call the awakening phase gets hard. You have to go against everything you believe in, or you think that you believe in. They're not even your beliefs because you never gave yourself a choice to believe. Like me, I'm a vegetarian now, but, you know, since I was 6, I asked myself, why in the hell are we eating animals? 6, 7-year-old me knew it was wrong. But what did people say? Oh, that's what you do. That's just the way life is. So what do you do as a kid? Oh, okay, well, pass me the meat, right? Pass me a burger. I've probably been a vegetarian since I was 7, but I've only done it for a year, you know? Something inside of me clicked, you know, and I'm not saying that you have to be a vegetarian. I'm not saying you have to change your life, you know. If something works for you, do it, you know. That's what I would say, you know. But you want to be the cause to your own effect, you know. All men aren't the same. All women aren't the same. You're the same. You're not changing. You're pretending to be somebody else's cause. You're remembering that boy or girl that hurt you a long time ago. And since you remember them, the effect is you keep attracting that energy because your soul is telling you, or whatever you believe that's inside of you, the formless version of you, is going to be telling you, you need to learn this lesson, you know? For me, my biggest lesson was learning to love myself. I had to learn to love myself in order to change the effect of life. And everything started getting more positive after that. So then I could help the rhythm thing. You know, I could be like, oh man, life's getting all screwed up. Well, I'm going to go close my eyes and meditate for a little bit, right? What control do I have over this right now? So by doing stuff like that, doing disciplined acts, I have actually been able to control my cause. And now I'm a lot happier with the effects, you know. But anyways, I'll leave you guys with that. So cause and effect, you know. Chance is a law that, you know, doesn't exist, you guys. There had to have been millions and millions of events for us to be here, you know. How many asteroids had to crash into something? How many stardusts had to mix? How many, you know, might not sound too good, but how many people had to make love in order for my whole ancestral line to produce just me? You know what I mean? That's a lot of cause and effect, you know, to believe that was just chance, you know. I was born in a little bubble. I should have been dead since I was born. There was no chance about it. The doctors tried to save me, and they did. Cause and effect, you know. But anyways, you guys have a blessed day. Namaste. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely give me a like and subscribe. We'll see you guys later. Bye.